Adolf.
My name is Perpetual.
And we are Love, Faith, and Passion. Today we've got a new series.
Yay! Okay, so this new series is entitled Putting in the Work.
Yep.
We have learned that, amazing relationships don't just happen. They require for people to put in the work. Many times people say to me, you're just lucky your husband is a pastor.
We've heard that a lot.
You're lucky that your husband loves you the way he does, but there is continuous work that we put in. There's intentional things that we've been able to do that have helped us to get to where we are. And so we're going to delve into that so that we can help other people also see. Because, it would be so unfair to just let people assume that, we woke up like this.
So the series is going to be a 3-part series. The first part, we're going to be talking about the first cut is the deepest. Do you remember the first cut is the deepest? Okay, we're not talking about that song.
Nah.
But we're titling it First Cut is the Deepest.
Yes.
The second part, we're going to be talking about forgiveness, right? Then the third part, we're going to be talking about dealing with difficult seasons.
Yes, difficult seasons.
So putting in the work during those difficult seasons will be a 3-part series.
Yeah, so sit back, relax, invite your friends, share the link, and let's get into it.
Sure. So, the first cut is the deepest. We've heard this so many times, and I think it's important for us to highlight the fact that most of the times when people say that the first cut is the deepest, they'll be talking about their first relationship. And at times people go on to even marriages, and they're still looking back at that first relationship, And what they're admiring most of the time is as a result of them not acknowledging the fact that the reason why they think that first relationship was so amazing is because that was the one time they totally gave of themselves. Where you are in this relationship, it's your first time. You are experiencing love for the first time. You are experiencing so many new emotions, and you give of yourself completely. You are completely trusting. You are completely giving of your time, of your emotions, of your resources. And what then happens is that after that relationship, the first breakup, the next relationship, you hold a little bit of yourself, which is normal mechanism. You know how there is also the saying, once bitten, twice shy? But we don't realize just how much of ourselves we hold back each time we go into a new relationship. So when we then get into marriage, it's very important for us to then consciously acknowledge the fact that I have to give of myself if I'm going to experience something that is beyond anything that I've experienced before. Because the moment you begin to hold back that little bit of yourself, you will think that it's just that little bit, but yet that is that little bit that has the potential to spoil the whole, how the Bible tells us that it's the little foxes that actually spoil the flock. So it's that little bit of yourself that you will be holding back as a result of so many things that you have gone through that taught you to always enter into this default of holding a little bit of yourself. But if we're going to succeed and do well in relationships and put in the work, then it has to be all of you, baby.
That's powerful. And sometimes we don't even realize just how much we've gone into autopilot. Like, when we talk about first cut is the deepest, like for me, it's very, very vivid. Because I remember like my first relationship, I was so optimistic. I have a friend who used to say puppy love chipova. Puppy love is just, it's messed up, man. But it's because when you're going into this space, like you said, you are all in. You're all in. And to be honest, we are taught in our society, don't give yourself too much. Like, it's just too risky. Lately, there's been a saying that Vama love ni risking. But it's because, to be honest, we don't realize that we start moving through life trying to protect ourselves. So even like before marriage, if you've been in a relationship before where you felt like, oh my God, that was the relationship. If you're going to do relationships again, or do a relationship again successfully, you need to position yourself to put in the work of unlearning. Unlearning from what that first experience taught you, because sometimes we're moving around expecting the person we are with to pay and undo what somebody else did.
Yeah.
And so we get into this zone where you've done something to me,
yeah,
but I won't really say it because I won't let you hurt me. You know, I will just not let you hurt me. So you go into this place where it's autopilot to do the silent treatment,
and you don't even know it. Because I think sorry to cut you short, but
it's okay.
Because the thing about autopilot is the fact that if, for example, the passengers who are, you know, in the plane, they don't even know that the pilot has hit that autopilot button. They just see themselves floating because it seems like a continuation of a momentum that you're already heading towards. Yeah, so you can continue there.
Yeah, so like you go into this zone where there are certain tendencies that just come easy. You know, you stop talking to this person, you stop responding to them like you do. But like when we really search deeper, we find that we learned those things because of that first cut.
True.
And so it's important for us as the people seeking to do godly relationships to be honest with ourselves, to say, I learned this because something happened to me.
True.
So putting in the work means I don't want to talk to you, but I must, because it's an investment for our relationship. It means also that you do checks on yourself, like how do you naturally respond when there are issues? Because, you know, first cut is the deepest can be. The soundtrack to your life, because you go through just saying, you know what, I had something beautiful once, but it's because you gave it your all, and no one else has had the privilege of getting to know you and
like
receiving from you
like
that. So you are always just looking back at the good old times. You're looking back at all the chemistry. Now when you think about the rains and how that person made you feel, and you can't really connect with the person that you're with, it's not so much that the person may have a problem, but it's because there's a lot of work that needs to happen for not forgiveness, just undoing habits, you know, and doing a lot of things that just need addressing.
And you know, I look at it from a natural perspective. If a child has been burnt, the second time they approach that fire, you may now be lighting this fire because as a family you want to sit around this fire and enjoy it. But now this child will be remembering of that time when they played with fire and they got burnt. And so instead of enjoying the warmth of this fire, automatically they see you lighting that fire, they want to pull back. So you are sitting around that fire as a family saying, oh, good times, and that child is looking at the fire and saying, but I got burnt. And so we don't realize that if you're then going to enjoy sitting with the family around that fire that once burnt you, it has to be a very conscious decision. So many of the decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis are from a very subconscious place. It is patterns that we have played out over and over and over and over again, until now each time we're faced with a decision, we are just autopiloting, like we have already said. It's a pattern that is so engraved in your psyche that you just play out. So if you're going to rise above it and give of yourself completely to this relationship in order for it to succeed, putting in the work in order for it to succeed, then you have to bring that decision from a subconscious level to consciously give of yourself like that. So that instead of you always looking back and saying, but that first relationship, but then when I was with that person, and the honest truth is that if we were to take you back to that place, you would be shocked how you would not even want to be with that person. You probably won't even stand that person. Why? Because you have grown, you have evolved. You are no longer the person that you were. You can imagine if someone were to offer you porridge, like maybe back in Zim, there was Cerelac, you know. If instead of giving you T-bone, they say, you know what, when you were a kid, you loved Cerelac so much. On your birthday, it's just Cerelac through. You'd be like, what are you talking about? Yeah. But there was a time when that Cerelac was amazing. It was all you wanted.
Wow.
You know, so you looking back and saying, but that first cut, but that first relationship, you know, but that chemistry, you know, it is a lie that you are telling yourself because you have grown so much. And now what you really need to do is accept that there is a part of you that you have been holding back, but you have to give of yourself completely. You have to be completely invested. I love what our mentors have taught us, that the world tells you that relationships is 50-50,
yeah,
but it is actually 100%, where you bring your 100% and I bring my 100%. And I actually, from a very early age, I realized that what most people call chemistry, these people have so much chemistry, is just a scenario where two people come together and both of them are as invested in the relationship as the other person, hence chemistry. Otherwise, you'd be like, but there was no chemistry. Why? Because the other person was just not as invested as you were.
Wow. And you know, as you were speaking, something jumped at me. Like when you said when you were younger, Cerelac was everything you needed. And so when we look at the first cut being the deepest, I think part of putting in the work is realizing that with the person I have evolved to be, what do I need?
Yeah.
And who do I need? You know, like I can only imagine those boys who were drooling over in high school with them baggy jeans.
Who were crashing over in primary school.
Sorry guys, but them baggy jeans, like right now, am I sure that if I was taken back to that place, because sometimes we dwell in this place where it was just a moment, you know, and we're nostalgic, you know, there was just something when he spoke to me, you know, and it's because now you have not fully embraced who you have become. So who have I become and who can feed into the person I have become? And to be honest, I've realized that for sure, you can live your life looking back at the past, and when you're given the opportunity to surely do life with a person from the past, you just be like, oh my God, what did I see?
Yeah.
How did I even think this was everything? So putting in the work in this regard will look like checking who you have become and what feeds into your purpose and the person that God has called you to be. Because I don't think I can do life with any other man. Like I'm so convinced right now that I can't do life with any other man, because I don't think that they have been graced to carry me and to carry the woman that God has called me to be. So
and I think also this speaks so much to people who are married already, because I also came to a place in our relationship where I had to ask myself, am I really giving of my best?
Wow.
Am I genuinely giving of my best? Because my wife deserves the best of me. I think that that's such a powerful statement that someone has to just sit down and contemplate upon. Your husband deserves the best of you. Your wife deserves the best of you. You need to really sit down and let that sink in. So it means that if I have had a rough day, when I come home, right, am I giving you of my best, or am I allowing what I give you to be the residual of what is left of me after I've been beat down by the world, you know?
Wow.
But the moment it is settled that my wife deserves the best of me, no matter what happens out there, the moment I walk in that door, I'm consciously making the decision to give the best of you. You can imagine.
Consciously deciding, not pretending. Wow.
So you can imagine, client would shout at you and you'll be there saying, no, the client knows best, right? The client is always right. So you are even pleading, no, I apologize. But you can't even apologize when you come home.
Hey,
you are giving of your best out there in the world because you want that money, because you want that client, because you want that promotion. But the moment you walk in through that door, you then give whatever you choose to give. But you honestly deserve the best of me. So am I giving the best of me?
Sure. Wow. And you know, interestingly, like I've had moments where I just felt like, okay, like if I was called home today,
Yeah.
and for me, like there's something that happens to me when I think in those lines, like it just kind of snaps me back into alignment. Like if I'm called home today, have I done my best?
Yeah.
Have I given my best? And you know, I wouldn't want a situation where God would have given me this gift, this beautiful gift of a union with you, and then I realized that the best I ever gave was when I was a teenager, the first time with some boy who was yet to discover who he was, you know. And so for me, like I can relate so much at a deep level, because those are conversations I've had with myself. Like, is the silent treatment necessary? Like is it
the best I can do?
Is it the best I can do even? So when I think in those lines, then you just see something to talk about, and before you know it, you're back again. And you know, I think that most times people fall into a vulnerable space because when something has happened, something bad has happened between the couple, they let their minds wander to a place where the only good thing they can see is an odd memory with somebody else. No, that person understood me. And the way the mind works is that it will take you only to the nice things and block off everything else that wasn't right about that person or that relationship. And you know, and the way the enemy works, before you know it, somebody has hit your DM. They haven't talked to you in 2 years. The day you argue with your spouse, hey, and you're like, see, they get me. And you know, if we move like that, then we put such a beautiful union at risk, you know, and expose it.
Very true. You know, and for me, I was just thinking about the issue of, have I given my best? It also allows you to see what is of value and what is not of value. Because when you are giving of your best, it also means that you are selecting what is beneath you. Giving of your best also allows you to see what is of lesser importance, you know. So you are there and you have the option of, do I apologize, or do I just pretend like it never happened? Like do I give the silent treatment? Which is the best of me? Because the best of you is as a result of you trying to preserve what you know is of value, which is the peace in your home, which is the quality of your friendship, you know. So it allows you to be able to clearly see that, okay, so this is worth it, this is not worth it, this is where the value really lies, and this I could easily let go of.
Wow, that's so powerful. I've personally enjoyed this. I don't think I have anything else to add. So when we start talking about first cut being the deepest, we should really be honest to say, have I given my best? Have I truly given my best to be able to weigh this relationship where I have put it now? You know, a lot of people say, married people are miserable, I don't even want to go there, you know. But it's because we have not admitted that we've only given ourselves maybe once, and that was the first time. And we're not trying anymore, you know. And so even when God has given you an amazing gift, you are failing to eat of the best of it, because you're looking at Johnny and Mary.
Egypt, the beauty of Egypt. But at least there we had graves. We would have been buried. You know. Here we're just going to be.
And we used to eat.
So guys, and indeed, something that you said in my closing remark, the fact that, you know, life is a gift, and I think you owe it to yourself, you owe it to the people in your life to give of your best, so that like my wife said, if by God's will you are called today, can you really look back and say, in that relationship, in my home, in my marriage, I really gave it my all? And I would want when one day God calls me, to be able to look back and say, you know, I loved the heck out of that woman. You know? I loved her with every fiber in my being. Because you deserve it.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. We love you. We are looking forward to part 2. Please make sure that you share the video, tag your friends, tell a friend to tell a friend, so that we can be able to share this video. I know that it will help so many people as it has helped us.
And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, ring the notification bell, so that when the videos are up, you are number one.
Yeah, so until the next video, see you soon, guys.
God bless you.